What's going on, guys? It's Kyle again with DTOM Knives and Gear, and today I have the Zero Tolerance 0393 GLCF sent to me by my buddy Dark Gravity. Stay tuned. Welcome back, guys. All right. First off, we want to say a big thank you to Dark Gravity for allowing me to have this knife in the pocket for a little while and check it out to bring it to you guys. He is such a great dude. I will have his Instagram linked down in the description. He's become a really good friend. He actually is local to me. There is not many of us knife guys out there in the community that is local to me, so I'm really excited to have him and call him a friend. So thank you, sir, very, very much. I was really stoked the last time I met up with him. Of course, he had some knives for me to take home and review because he's just that awesome of a dude. And I was really excited about this guy. I have never held one of these, the ZT0393. This one in particular is the glow-in-the-dark carbon fiber. I can't like charge it up, turn the lights off right here with my little setup, but I did take a picture of it, kind of sort of, that I will try to roll in here so you can see what the carbon fiber when it glows looks like. It is pretty cool. I don't know how useful it is. It's definitely cool, but you know, when your knife is in your pocket and you take it out, the light has to charge. It's not like trinium or anything like that where it stays glowing. It does have to be charged up, but it does look super cool in the dark. But this knife is a Rick Hinderer design. It is basically, you know, the production version, cheaper version. If you would like the Hinderer Eclipse, then you want this guy if you don't want to spend the $425 or whatever the Hinderer Eclipse is. This thing is at $280. And what do we get for that? Well, guys, this knife has been out for a long, long time. There are tons of reviews out there. So it stood the test of time. A lot of people love these things. You can get these things in so many different variations. But this one in particular is, of course, a titanium frame lock with a carbon fiber overlay and 20 CV steel with this awesome bead blast and stone washed blade, harpoon style blade, with a kind of a compound grind thing going on. Very slight compound, but you can see that transition there between the two grinds, kind of, sort of, see? So looks pretty cool. I'm not sure exactly the function or anything like that, but it really looks cool. You can feel the transition. I love the way this blade looks. Of course, this is in 20 CV steel. Here it is on the lock side where you can see the model number, Hinderer design, USA made, CPM 20 CV. So yes, 100% made in the United States, as are all ZT knives. Great thing about the company, so they are American made, so gotta love that. This knife, I've never held an Eclipse, so I can't like compare it to how the Eclipse feels. But the action on this knife is sweet. It is, of course, running on bearings. I have really enjoyed carrying this thing. It is super smooth, super snappy. I mean, the thing is about ZT guys is their flipping actions are just money. I've owned a few. I've handled a lot more. And you just really can't beat the bearing action on a ZT. Especially, I love the ZTs kind of gotten away from, they used to be like the overbuilt, which they still have a lot of models like that, but the overbuilt, hard use, tough knife, and this kind of falls in line with that. You can definitely tell that this knife is designed to work. The ergonomics are just great in the hand. You can see that it has the two little scallops there for your fingers and then kind of tapers off back here. Really, really nice. I gotta admit, I really like it. I kind of wish it had a forward finger troll, kind of like the XM18, because that's just what I love, but it does not need it. It is very comfortable in hand, and one thing that a lot of people like is just the shape of where the flipper tab is. If you'll see, we'll do a size comparison here, but you can kind of see the difference between like the XM18 flipper tab and how far it sticks out versus the ZT0393. It's kind of, and on the Eclipse, I guess, it's kind of a cool design. You know, you have the line here that goes up and kind of meets with that. And so when you flip this thing, your finger hits here. It's very comfortable, unlike on the Hinderer. XM18 where your finger lands back here. It doesn't bother me, but it is a thing a lot of people talk about when you flip the action that you hit that jimping. That does not happen on this knife. It is a very comfortable flipper action. The light switch works. The push button works. I mean, it just flips out like a dream. One thing I also love about this is that these are not thumb studs. These are blade stops. I really like a knife with blade stops, external blade stops. I don't know. It just kind of makes me happy. I like it a lot. But, you know, it definitely feels very solid because of that. It locks up solid. I mean, there is absolutely no play in this blade whatsoever. The lock bar is, of course, a titanium frame lock. It does have a steel lock bar insert. I'm not sure if this actually acts as an over travel stop. I don't think it does because basically the carbon fiber is what acts as the over travel stop. And it is not jimped, which I'd like. I kind of don't like it whenever there's jimping in the lock bar, on the lock bar. It is scalloped, and it's really easy to get out of the way. This knife does have a, you have to get past the detent. So the way I usually unlock the knife is I'll unlock it and let the knife drop past that detent, and then boom, it just goes down so smooth. Detent is tuned wonderfully. It's just an all-around great, great knife. It carries very well in the pocket. The pocket clip is a Hinderer-esque kind of pocket clip. I don't think it's the most attractive thing in the world, but it works superbly. This is a right or left hand carry because as you can see, you have the pocket clip there. I don't know if my camera's focusing. Come on, camera. And then, of course, you can move it over here. It's got the fuller on that side. You can use the external stops for flipping the knife, and it works a lot better on this than the external stops do on the Hinderer XM18. For me, guys, it's just harder for me to use those. It works. I mean, as you can see, I mean, I can do it. It's a little harder. Definitely easier to do on the 0393. So, beautiful knife. I absolutely love the overbuilt feel of this guy. It's definitely made for work. You do have jimping on the blade. It's kind of spaced far apart, a little farther apart than I'd like, but it's not a deal breaker or anything like that. It's one of those things that I prefer. It's not aggressive. It's not sharp. The Harpoon blade shape allows me to get my thumb right here if I want to bear down on this knife and do some work. I really, really enjoy that. The jimping is back here. If I want to do some piercing, it's enough jimping to keep my hand in the way. And of course, the flipper tab is a little guard there. So very functional knife. I really have enjoyed having this in pocket. It cuts like a dream. It's not the thinnest thing behind the edge, but it's not made to be a slicer. It's made to be a work knife, and it feels like a work knife. You've got about 8 1/4 inches overall with a 3.5 inch blade. And then you've got about 3.375 as far as the cutting edge. It's a 160,000 stick blade, so you've got some pretty good blade here. It comes out thick behind the tip. You're not going to have to worry about taking or getting this guy to break on you because with this harpoon blade shape, it carries out really thick there. You're not going to have to worry about a delicate little tip. It does come down to about 30 thousandths behind the edge, which I know is not super thin, but it still cuts like a dream. This thing is, I mean, I did cut some, anybody else's knives that I have on the channel, I do very light testing. Dark Gravity is such a great guy. He's like, man, do what you got to do. I just don't do a whole lot. I do my regular EDC task, which is cutting packages and cardboard and zip ties and all that good stuff. And this thing performs wonderfully. It definitely is comfortable in hand. Usually this kind of shadow box look, I'm not a huge fan of, but usually because of the edges and stuff, when I grab it in my hands, I can feel it. I really can't feel it on this knife. The edges around here are chamfered and just feel really good. There's no sharp spots on this knife, and I really enjoy that. There is jimping back here, and I can feel it as a grip right here, but it's not hurting my hand or anything, so it's not overly sharp. I mean, it's just a tad bit sharp there, but not bothersome at all. And then, of course, in the reverse grip, the reverse draw cut grip, I mean, all of these feel really good. Usually on flipper tabs with the reverse draw, you might feel a little bit of that. flipper tab in the way, but the flipper tab is actually rounded off really nicely, as well with the jimping. It's done really well. I flick this knife all day long, very comfortably, and it's just a joy to have in pocket. Let's do some size comparisons. We've already brought out the Hinderer XM18. This is the 3.5 inch, very similar in size there. Here it is against, of course, the Spyderco PM2. If you know what these knives are like, I mean, it's a good working size knife. It's not too big. It's a great carry. Excuse me. I do not remember how much this thing weighs. I believe it's like 5 ounces. So, I mean, it's not the lightest thing in the world, but you're not using this as a basketball shorts carry. You know what I'm saying? It's a work knife. Let's see. Also against the Strider S&G, all of these knives are around the same size. Just really good, larger but not overly large EDC blades that are made for work. So it fits that role perfectly. Really, really like it. I've got one more ZT that Mr. Dark Gravity has also let me borrow that we will be reviewing. But ZT as a company has just done great, great stuff. They do a lot of collaborations with Rick Hinderer. They are just a great company. If you want a good American-made knife, but something like a Rick Hinderer, a Mick Strider, Chris Reeve, you know, the things that are out there as far as, you know, $400+ ZT is absolutely the way to go. They make good quality products. They have a lot of models for everybody to check out, and I think that everybody can find something that they like. So I am a huge fan. I need to get more ZTs in my collection. The one thing, like I said, you can get this knife in so many variations, but I really like this. I mean, I don't have to have the carbon fiber, the glow-in-the-dark carbon fiber, but I like the way the carbon fiber looks against the Bead Blast stone washing here. I really like that finish. I like heavy stone wash, and the Bead Blast stone wash on this guy just really, really is nice, especially for a working knife, because it's harder to show those imperfections or scratches that you get in everyday use. So really love the finish on this guy. They have some two-tone blades. They have, you know, G10. They have all kinds of stuff, you know, where all this is polished. You get different. It's just crazy. So many variations of this knife. This one right here, I think, is about $280. And so not an inexpensive knife, but, you know, if you like this design or the Hinderer Eclipse, holy crap, you can't go wrong with this. And you can get it in so many different variations. You really can kind of pick what you want. I think this is a great, great knife for the price. You get 20 CV steel, which is my absolute favorite EDC steel. That is for sure. And then, of course, I just love the Harpoon Blade. I don't have any blades that have this on here. And with that little compound grind, I just think it's very, very attractive. ZT, you know, they have a lot of billboarding on their blades. I don't really mind. You know, they do kind of keep it. They could have made it bigger. They could have gone all Microtech and put everything on there, but they don't. They keep it kind of minimalist. So yeah, I'm really enjoyed it. I really appreciate Mr. Dark Gravity for letting me have this thing in hand. I almost want to Hinderer Eclipse now and just kind of feel the difference, because this thing feels so well made. You know, I want to be able to get a real Eclipse in hand to kind of compare them. I am really excited about that now. So guys, that is about it. This is a wonderful knife. Stay tuned for more. Thank you so much, Mr. Dark Gravity, for allowing me to check this and the other knives you have sent me out. You are the man. Love you, dude. Guys, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. If you want to see more, we got a lot of knives, a lot of life reviews coming. We got a giveaway coming up, so hit that notification bell so you will be notified when we do that. Guys, stay safe out there in this crazy world that we're living in, and we will see you in the next one.